Hello, I'm Arthur Collins, Conference Coordinator of Civic Youth Serving Agency / Scouting Ministries in the Indiana Annual Conference. This year is the 100th anniversary of the relationship between the ancestors of the United Methodist Church and the Boy Scouts of America, the granddaddy of all scouting organizations in the United States. Of course, there were scout troops chartered to Methodist churches before 1920, at least two of which are still chartered to churches in the Indiana Annual Conference. But in that year, 1920, the Methodist Episcopal Church signed what is today called a Memorandum of Mutual Understanding with BSA to work together on a national basis. A lot has happened since then, but the relationship has remained strong. The UMC is the largest charter partner of BSA with over 300,000 children and youth and many adult leaders in about 30,000 Cub Pack Scout troops and venturing crew. The United Methodist Church is always also the largest user of the Pray Awards, what we used to call God and Country. Jesus and Me for kindergarten through first grade, God and Me for first through third graders, God and Family for fourth through sixth, God and Church for middle school youth, and God and Life for high school youth. These Christian education programs and their associated awards are not just for youth in uniformed organizations. All the children of the church are welcome to participate and be recognized for their achievement. The UMC is also one of the largest sponsors of Girl Scout units and does ministry also with Campfire, American Heritage Girls, and all other major scouting-type organizations. Scouting is also active in our central conferences. In Germany and Switzerland, our brothers and sisters in die Evangelische Methodistische Kirche even have their own scouting organization, the Wesley Scouts. Taken all together, total registration in UM-related units of all CYSAs in the United States comes to about 500,000 children and youth. This makes scouting the largest form of ministry to children and youth after Sunday school in the United Methodist Church. It also means that there are more youth registered in United Methodist-related BSA units than in UMYF. There are more adult leaders of those units than are members of United Methodist Men, and more children and youth who will attend chapel services and hear the gospel in some form at Scout Camp than at all our church camps. Studies done by BSA over the years have consistently shown that about 1 in 8 children and youth who join a scouting unit will have their first experience with organized religion through that program. Now, I'll spare you the arithmetic since there are few things more mind-numbing than to hear someone read all the steps in a math problem. But the upshot of those numbers I just cited is that at a conservative estimate, there are over 60,000 people, kids and their parents and their siblings, who walk through our doors every year to start the scouting trail who have no current religious commitments. These people do not need to be found. We know who they are. We have their addresses. And they don't need to know how to find us. They are in and out of our churches every week right now. And they are waiting for someone from our churches to initiate a relationship with them that might lead to their participation and a new relationship with God and the church through Jesus Christ. Sadly, too many churches refer to the Scouts as the Scouts who meet in our building, not as our Scouts. Too many clergy have no time to reach out to new families whom they only see in uniform. Oh, maybe someone else, someone sitting with them in those meetings, another parent waiting for the Scouts to conclude their program, will invite them to their church. Is that what we want? I hope not. Over the years, the Indiana Annual Conference has had one of the strongest scouting ministries in the United Methodist Church. In recent years, we have conducted scouting ministry retreats at Camp Indicoso 2017 and Camp Buffalo 2018. In 2019, we were asked to partner with the Indianapolis Archdiocesan Committee on Scouting to do a joint Roman Catholic United Methodist Scout retreat at Maumee Scout Reservation. In 2014, the Indiana Annual Conference sent a team of scouts and scouters to the Democratic Republic of the Congo at the request of the North Katanga Episcopal Area and Friendly Planet Missiology. We helped conduct a joint Indiana-North Katanga jamboree in the village of Tenke. The generosity of Indiana United Methodists and their churches enabled us to have enough funds left over to sponsor a second jamboree later that year in the war-torn upcountry of Congo, where Americans would not have been safe. In 2018, following the untimely death of the Reverend Bob Walters, we sponsored a pair of jamborees in Congo in his memory. Scouts participated in his funeral procession in Mulongo. He was very precious to them. Scouting is an integral part of the church's ministry in North Katanga because it is the primary alternative to being recruited as a child soldier in that ravaged country. Scouts in Africa are truly soldiers for peace, as Lord Baden-Powell envisioned. They build up their communities. They help other people at all times. Assisting with all these endeavors in Indiana is a support organization currently calling itself the Indiana United Methodist Pathfinder, Incorporated. This voluntary association publishes a newsletter for the Indiana Scouting Ministry community, and it maintains a scholarship fund named in honor of the Reverend Larry Richert, a former superintendent of the Evansville district, which provides funds to help youth in our United Methodist Scouting Ministry family take advantage of high adventure trips and to attend national leadership conferences. The Pathfinder connects volunteers and donors, helps plan events, puts muscle on the bone of our conference structure. Since conference funds are so rarely available for projects, the Pathfinder has provided funding to publish resources and provide program. The United Methodist Church offers a number of awards to recognize the devoted service of adults who do scouting as ministry. Each local church can award the Cross and Flame, for instance, every year, and it is the special privilege and joy of the conference coordinator to approve recommendations for the Torch Award, given for devoted service to scouting ministry at the district or conference level over a number of years. This year we have presented the Torch Award to George Morrell of Amity United Methodist Church. George is a lay member of our annual conference. He has a long history in scouting ministry, not only in his local church, but as a prominent member of Crossroads of America Council, where he serves on the United Methodist Relationships Committee. He has been an officer of our Conference Scouting Association and is currently Vice President of United Methodist Men for Scouting in our annual conference, where he has been a tireless supporter and interpreter of our ministry to church leaders at every level. We hope you will take advantage of the opportunity to congratulate George as you see him. He is the latest in a long line of people who have the heart for scouting and the church and who have carried our ministry forward. Bishop and members of the annual conference, this concludes our report.